Yo, how's it going? I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I posted anything in general across all my channels, where it's like my gaming channel, this channel, or even TikTok. But it's all good because I've come back with some information from my journey that I know moving forward is going to help you all greatly, whether you are watching this video or you're someone I am mentoring. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the patterns in your life and your family bonds. Now, admittedly, with this, I'm going to have to make a graph. I'm going to make the video and explain everything, but I'm going to make a graph and you will see it when that time comes, because I've realized a lot of things. So first, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. We'll give you the behind the scenes of what I've been experiencing that made me get to this conclusion. I was like, I got to make this video. So what happened was, there were two catalysts that I've experienced that have me feeling a lot of emotions, and there are a lot of things going on in my mind. One is, honestly, and actually, my dad's death. So with my dad, I don't really know him. And you probably think to yourself, like, why are you feeling some kind of way about somebody you don't really know? And what I've come to realize is that his absence, because let me give you all the details. So out of the 31 years of this experience so far, I have met and seen him and interacted with him a total of 4 times. The first time I was 7, second time I was 14, again when I was 21, and at that point I'm thinking, okay, it must be like every 7 years or something. And the 4th time I saw him was actually when I was 29. It was at my brother's funeral, because of his kids, of all the kids he has that I know of, just being honest, that I know of, there are 5. I'm the youngest. Then there's my sister, because with my mom, there's my sister and myself. But he had 3 other kids before he got with my mom. And it's like, one of those times, the second time, when I was 14, when I was 21. This is when I was 21. The 3rd time I saw him was honestly due to my siblings essentially calling him out and just being like, yo, you have other kids. You don't really know what they got going on. You don't know them. You don't know if they're in school. You don't know what they're doing there. Woo. Just like basic stuff you should want to know about your offspring, your child. Regardless if you're like consistently in their life or not, you should want to know what's going on, right? No, he didn't, because after that, I only saw my siblings. After that, they're the only ones that came around to hang out with us, to come to any birthday parties, to like check in on us, have conversation with us, build bonds with us. They actually went out of their way to build bonds with us, their younger siblings. But their dad, because we all have the same dad, the dad did not want seemingly anything to do with us. Well, with my sister and myself. And I realized, and this is where the pattern is, the pattern stuff is connected to this. But so when I learned that he passed away, this was of the time of this video 3 or 4 days ago, give or take, 4 days ago. Let's see. I felt indifferent. I still feel indifferent now. But after time, I was feeling just disappointed. Still indifferent, but also disappointed, because it's like, wow, this man chose to go his whole life without really getting to know me or my sister. That is crazy. And his older kids tried to get them to at least try to build some kind of bond. And again, you could be listening to this right now and be thinking to yourself, well, communication is a two-way street. Yes, communication is a two-way street. But are you really going to feel the need to build a bond with someone that has shown you on multiple occasions that they don't really want that kind of bond? Because every time I reflect back on every experience I had with him, he didn't come back around to see me or my sister. He came back around to see my mom. And what I concluded from the conversations, because I wasn't always around, what I concluded from those conversations, whether I was around when the talking was going on, or I was around when, or I wasn't around. His objective, at least it seems like, I'll talk to my siblings at some point, maybe they can say something different, but it seemed like he was either trying to get back with my mom, and also this is from my mom's words, or he was trying to get her to remove him from child support. And that was the extent of it, from my mom's words, and also what I deduced on my own. But that does not change the fact that out of the 31 years of my experience, I've only interacted and seen him 4 times. And I didn't talk about the 4th time. So the 4th time I saw him was at one of my siblings' funeral. So of my eldest siblings on that outside of my mom, because I'm still the youngest. My sister is older than me, and then my other siblings that I met, the youngest of those 3 took himself out. It was self-deletion. I'm not sure how YouTube's going to be with the lingo, but self-deletion. And that hurt, because I got to know my brother. And I remember when I learned that I had older brothers when I was a kid, I was so freaking excited, because all I had was my older sister. And then I was also like observing how one of my mirror cousin, because he's like my best friend of a cousin, I saw how he had older brothers, and I was like, dang, I kind of want an older brother. That'd be cool. All I have is my older sister, and we don't play with the same toys. But the thing is, when I met them, they were like older than me. They were like in their like mid-20s or something like that. No, not mid, like early 20s or late teens or something like that. I would just say early 20s. I think that's just how much older they were. And yeah, that's right. Because he's like in his he's in his mid 40s, like the older brother. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, because they were like already married, had kids when I first met them when I was like in kindergarten or something like that. But I was so excited to finally meet my brothers. Even when I met my dad, I was happy to see him. But again, when I reflect on it and how I felt and what I was observing, my dad didn't really care much, and it is what it is with that. However, getting back to the point, realizing that "31 years of this experience, only interacted with him 4 times, and he chose to just go about his life that way." And I was like, dang, he actually chose to go his whole life without really getting to know me, because like at the different times that he interacted with me, I was not the same person. And with the journey I'm on right now, I strongly feel like anybody who knows me should be interacting with me more, because I know a lot about a lot. If my family wanted to truly be their most authentic selves and be better than who they were, or like just be their best version possible, they would be wise. If you're watching this, you will be wise to make a connection with me, because I want to reach out to you guys, because from what I've been witnessing with my family, you guys need me. Like, just reflecting on everything. I need you guys too, because I remember, now I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm gonna just allow myself to talk anyway. But I remember hanging out with 2 of my cousins, because it was like, what was so nice about that night, because we were like just hanging out. It was three separate cousins. Like, we were all cousins. Like, I was his cousin, he was my cousin, and it was just cousins hanging out. And one of my cousins' birthday was the night before, and it was interesting because the day before, I was like, dang, that's right, his birthday today. But I was busy and whatnot. But as I was thinking about him that same day, the next day, what happened? So the next day, I was still thinking about like, dang, yeah, his birthday was yesterday. Let me like reach out to him or something. And as I was thinking about him, I was going into a grocery store, and then I saw one of his friends. I was like, "Hey, yeah, what's up, man?" We like talked for a little bit, and he said he talked to my cousin earlier today. I was like, "Yeah, that's right. His birthday was yesterday," and blah blah blah. And then from that moment, like a couple hours later, one of my cousins, a different cousin, called me, and he wanted to hang out with my other cousin because it was his birthday, and he just wanted to like just meet because it's been a minute, and also. There was another death in the family, so he's like trying to like do what he can to like get the family closer together. Because black families, we got some work to do. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done and stuff that needs to be talked about. Because I have a lot of questions. Because again, like on my spiritual journey, there's so much stuff I've been noticing, and it's all systematic and designed intentionally for us to not be unified. And I've learned that there's a lot to do with the kinds of traumas and past hurts that I'm going to be talking about in this video, which I'm going to get to. But yes, I'm gonna stop that right there so I don't get too far on a tangent, so I can get to the point of what I was talking about with the patterns and family connections. The family connections are important because you need those. So I'm gonna say this because I'm thinking about the other part, so I'm gonna say this now so I can get it out. So yes. My dad chose to go his whole life without getting to know me. And then another thing happened recently that was like a part, like once I came across this second thing, which is all still connected to the patterns. Like I know I've explained this before with the whole Facebook situation where I had to make a separate account. And with the separate account, I had to what I did was I added some of the same people from the previous account. I didn't re-add everyone because it's like I still have the old account, so I know I can still interact with people on there. But with the new account, it's strictly business. I really try not to have the feed have too much stuff on it, or my timeline to have too much stuff on it, because I just want it to be strictly business and me just only posting the videos like this, the snippets of videos, so I can, get that channel, get my page back to being monetized. Because the first one is able to be monetized, but like I mentioned before, some issues with Facebook saying I violated community guidelines with the ad that I posted, and they aren't telling me what it is. They even denied my appeal, so I'm like, just make a new page and just start over from scratch. So yeah, so the second thing with this channel, I added because this was before like me even knowing that there was an official breakup with my ex, because she just left. She didn't say anything. She just left. Like I was giving her space because there was like she wanted some space. And that should have been a telling sign there, but either way, there was no conversation about her breakup. She just left. And I called her one evening on video chat, and she answered the phone about on a date with the guy she's with now. But fast forward to now, scrolling on Facebook, and her godmom, who was one of the people I added on the new page, shared a post, and apparently she's pregnant. My ex is pregnant. And I saw that and I was like, definitely feeling some kind of way about that. Want to allow myself to feel these emotions. And some thoughts went through my mind like, dang, that could have been me. I could have been having a child with her if she chose to continue what we had going. Because there was nothing wrong with our relationship. There was nothing wrong with our relationship at all. She just, from what I concluded, had something that she wasn't ready to let go with the previous guy. She tried to let it go, I guess, but not enough, to the point to where it's like, instead of actually even having a conversation about breaking up with me, she just left, But anyway, so I saw that post and it made me feel some kind of way. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy, because it seems like I'm always in this pattern. Again, here we are with the patterns. I'm going to talk about that. And like the pattern that I've always noticed is, and even before that, it's just that this brought it full circle. I've always noticed that this pattern I was experiencing, it seems like I seem to find myself in the same experience of someone choosing someone else over me. And it's happened a lot. It's happened a lot. Like, it's the amount of times it's happened is crazy. And I can blame myself, and I always take accountability for my actions, because like I did pursue it, even knowing some of the information. And that's just across the board with all the women I was pursuing seriously at one point or another. And yeah, they would always choose some other guy over me, whether there is history with the guy or not. They would just choose somebody else over me. And I was thinking to myself, like, even like years before, like just in general, like, dang, why how am I consistently in this pattern? What's going on here? And then I saw the stuff with my ex being pregnant. I was like, dang, I started to think about it again. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, that's because the first person to ever choose someone else over me was my dad. And I didn't even think about it, because when I was going through my leap of faith, most of the emotions I was unraveling and releasing were tied to my mom. Now, I innately knew that both of my parents have something to do with the experiences I'm experiencing, but I never considered unraveling whatever those emotions were with my dad, because there weren't any really there, so I didn't even bother. So all the things I was unraveling was connected to my mom. But now, since realizing this literally yesterday, I've been just unraveling those emotions, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot here. Even though there wasn't anything there, there's so many things tied to his absence. Due to his absence, there's a chain of events that happened, and I'm like, yo, my mom was not equipped to raise 2 kids by herself, and she did the best she could with what she had. However, that does not change the fact that as an adult, I've realized there are so many things I should have learned years ago, but I'm quite literally learning it on my own. And I will stand on this every time I am in a conversation or talking about it. So I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna stand on this. I raised myself. I quite literally raised myself. I've had to nurture my inner child. I had to give myself what my parents could not give. And honestly, even if I had a 2-parent household or he was more active, I still would have had to do most of the lifting on my own. Because just based off of what I've unraveled from my mom's parts that were a part of that portal. Because this is the diagram. So in the center is going to be me, or you in this case. And then you're going to have your family tree with your parents and their parents and so on. So it's going to be 3 layers. In the center, at the bottom of this pyramid, there's you. And above you, you have your mom and your dad. And above them, you have their 2 parents. So what happens is, which is like, this is just basic stuff. We're now talking about this in terms of energy and ancestral lifetimes and like family, generational cycles and whatnot, and breaking the generational cycles and curses and blah, blah, blah. But, so here we go. Whatever they experienced, whatever experiences they've gained came from their 2 parents, which would be my grandparents. It passed down to them. And whatever my 2 parents gained from them and did not take care of, passed down to me. So us individuals who are there, mainly us millennials, and majority of of us in general, who all had experienced this diagram that I'm talking about, majority of us millennials are the ones doing the work that our parents didn't do and our grandparents didn't do. We are quite literally the individuals who are meant to break the cycle, because if we don't break the cycle, it's just going to continue to repeat. Because when it comes to my relationships, I realized that due to the lacking parts that my mom didn't have, and the way she treated me, because she clearly treated me differently than my sister, I realized, oh, this is manifesting in the relationships with the women that I have. And I saw those most easy and the most because I was unraveling what passed down from my mom. And in unraveling what passed down from my mom, I realized, oh crap, she didn't have much of emotional and mental support when she was growing up. That explains so much, because I didn't have that same thing when I was growing up. And then that's where the diagram comes in, because whatever was not taken care of or done from their parents passed down to them. Because like, yes, the things that they did also pass down, and then the lack of the things that they didn't do also passes down, which is like, you think like, oh duh, but once you really take a look at it and observe it and dive into that, you realize it does so much and is the catalyst and root cause of so many things. Because then on the other side, as I'm unraveling my the energies from my dad, I'm like, yo. And then I realized that, like, yeah, again, mentioning, to bring it full circle, mentioning seeing my ex pregnant, and then the death with my dad. It's like, dang, that's the pattern. That's the pattern right there. I've noticed that I would consistently experience. So I'm still feeling the emotions now. I've been feeling them all day, and it's like, it's good to allow yourself to sit with the emotions and experience them, but you also have to release them. And most people don't release them, which is why there's yoga, martial arts, some kind of physical activity to like get your blood going, to get you want to remove and release these energies, so you're not holding on to them. Like, because your body will hold on to them, and it will be tight muscles. Like, that's the physical sign of you're holding on to some kind of stress, especially in the hips. The hips hold a lot of energy, and stretching your hips, both for men and women or whatever you identify as, that's where a lot of tight, stiff energies are stuck. You have to stretch your hips. You have to be mobile. Like, there are so many different ways that the body can move. Like, the body can do a lot of things. I'm not saying you have to be able to do a 90-degree back bend or do a middle split or any kind of split, but you have to be flexible. You have to still be able to move your body just every once in a while in different ways. Not just lifting, not just running, not just yoga, all the above, because that's going to allow your body to heal. That's going to allow your body to release on a physical level when it comes to this energy. Because you still have to unravel. You still have to do the other side of the work, the mental work, the energetic work. And none of it will be complete if you are neglecting the physical work. So even with my mentoring, there's going to be some yoga in there. Like, I'm going to give you demonstration videos, or for in person, if you're local, we will do the yoga together if you want, whether it be virtual as well, or we just like go to a park and do the yoga in the park. And for the most part, it'll be me guiding you through it, because yeah, I can do it with you, but I want to make sure you're doing it right. So I will guide you through it. I will show you the poses step by step, just like I would in the video demonstrations, or even the virtual yoga sessions. But to get back to it, yeah, unraveling these emotions is a lot. I'm feeling so much anger, so much frustration, because the fact that it's some towards my dad, I'm not gonna lie, but also towards myself. So I'm like, how the heck why didn't you look at this side? What the heck? How could you neglect this? I mean, yeah, there was no relationship there, so you didn't have much to work with, but that stuff still passed down on an energetic level. And then additionally, there's the fact that his physical absence still had an effect on me, my mom, and my sister. Because there were so many things, again, that I had to learn on my own, because my mom wasn't able to do it, because she didn't know what you don't know what you don't know. And then my dad just wasn't there. And even still, from what I've gathered with unraveling these energies and like the interactions I've had with my dad, even though very little, I still would have had to do a lot of extra heavy lifting, because both of my parents themselves didn't do that emotional and mental heavy lifting, which means that both, not just my mom, but also my dad, didn't have much of an emotional, mental support and reinforcement and whatnot when they were growing up, which is why this is so important. That's why I'm pushing it the way I'm talking about it, because I just talked about the patterns. Now we're going to talk about the family bonds, because the family bonds mean so much. Because now I want to bring up the diagram again, because with this diagram, it's not just with your families, it's also with your siblings, and your cousins, like everybody who's in your blood family, there's still some things there that you, as the one to break the curses, still need, and to break the cycles, you still need to do. You have to interact with everybody. You don't have to be friends with them. They're still your family. Still treat them with the unconditional love. And it's with doing this work that you will not only be closer to your authentic self, but you will also be an example to them to be like, okay, let me start doing some of this. Because for the most part, how can I put this? Because when I'm training people, a saying I like to say, whether they are familiar with anime or not, is I'm not saying you have to train to fight Frieza, because that's what I like to do personally. Even though if Frieza came through, it would still be a wash. But in a physical sense. But if on the other side, in the dream world, which I've actually, on a separate note, I've thought about making videos describing my dreams, but I'm honestly going to have to try to do it in a somewhat animated fashion, because me just telling the story won't give it justice, because the amount of things that goes on over there. If Frieza pulled up on the dream side of everything, no difficulty for me. No difficulty at all. Oh man. But yeah, these bonds are all important, because due to how things are with people having bonds amongst each other, because your parents, they have their own siblings, and you getting to know all of them and just observing their interactions with one another, their lack of interactions amongst each other, will tell you a lot. Because then you will have your own questions like, okay, why is auntie never around? What's going on? What happened when you guys were kids to make her feel it is in her best interest to not be around with anything? But then when your mom passed away, which will be your grandmother, just talking about how my grandmother passed away, she was upset at everyone for not calling her. But when people call her, she doesn't answer the phone. So I have a lot of questions about things that happen amongst our family. Because as I'm getting to this point in my life and I'm realizing how all these bonds are interconnected, and I'm interacting with my family at this point in my journey, like, yo, I kid you not, it's literally like I'm walking around with this thing is open, because I can't help but notice things. Like, I cannot help but notice so many things. It'd be the most minor things. Like, people can just be talking to me, and I'm like, something's not right here. They're hiding something. Well, not hiding something, but it's almost like it's something they don't want me to know. Not out of maliciousness, but it's something that it's almost like they're just withholding information. Talking about an experience I had a couple nights ago with one of my cousins. I don't know what's going on with them. Besides the obvious one, there was a death in the family, but there's something else going on, and I haven't got around to talking to him yet, because I'm currently experiencing what I'm experiencing right now. And when I get like this personally, I like to be by myself, because I want to be able to ask myself what questions I need to ask. And then once I've done most of the lifting of these metaphysical mountains, then I'm like, all right, cool, let me go help. Let me go see how things are going with him, because I know something is going on. He didn't want to say it, and I know that's one of the reasons why he just wanted to be around family, because something is going on. I don't know what. I want to find out soon, and I'll perhaps update you guys if I feel it's needed. But that's the thing about going down this journey. All of us, I feel like every millennial, because even with my graduating class, going off on tangent a little bit, but even with my graduating class, I feel like all of us, we're just built different. Like, all us millennials are just built different, yo. I feel like all of us are definitely tasked with breaking whatever generational cycle that our predecessors did not do. And it's not just like let me put it this way, because there are some Gen Y, there are some Gen Z, because I taught some Gen Z students, and they are it is so beautiful to see them being so young and having that kind of awareness that as you would interact with them, or as I'm interacting with them, I'm realizing it's like, oh dang, they on the right track. Keys fell out of my pocket. They're on the right track, because the kind of questions they're asking, and as I'm getting to know them, the way they are behaving and the way they break down information, it's like, this is perfect. They're on the right track. And it's good that I had this feeling, this intuition within myself that I need to work at this high school, which was the same high school that my ex worked at. I felt like I was needed there. And once I got there, it's definitely needed there. So I went there, I did my part and whatnot, but there are a lot of individuals like us millennials. I'm really just saying millennials because there is a lot of us who are, if I could put a number on it, I would say more than half of the millennials are like, we are destined to break these cycles, because again, our predecessors haven't done it. So our ancestors, our spiritual team, our higher selves are like looking to us like, hey, your parents didn't do it, so here you go. And I know some of you guys might be watching this and thinking to yourselves like, yeah, that's it, because they didn't do it, so we have to do it. And the beauty of it is, with us being the ones to do it, it paves the way for so many other things to happen. Not just for you stepping into your authentic self, but for your family members as well. Because there's so many things going on that you wouldn't know about unless you are around your family to be aware of those things. Because I learned some things myself just hanging out with my cousins the other night. But bring it back to the point. The patterns that you are experiencing in your family bonds. All the patterns that you are noticing in your life are due to whatever family bonds you have. Whether there is an absence of a bond, you need to dive into that and learn what's going on, or the abundance of bonds, and of those bonds that are abundant and they're with pretty much you're having consistent interaction with them. Those are ones you also you gotta dive in that. All the interactions, you gotta learn how to be as introspective as possible. You have to reflect on everything. Not as tense as probably I do, because if anything, I feel like I've been undiagnosed with ADHD. Just from what I've been noticing and what I've learned about how people with ADHD operate, I feel like I just went under the radar because I was in school the whole time, and how my brain processes information. It's like, it just feels normal to me. But now that I'm adult and doing entrepreneur stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Do I got ADHD? And then watching the video of somebody explain what ADHD was like when they got diagnosed and became official that they do have a level of ADHD, and explain all the different kinds of ADHD, I was like, dang, this description sounds kind of familiar, because these are the kind of things that I also do. You know? But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Because now this video is about 30 minutes. If you didn't make it this far, I do appreciate it, because this is a lot of stuff. Because I've been sitting with these emotions for a minute, and I know this information is going to help someone, because I'm going to use this information to help my clients, whether it's you or not, and you're just deciding to watch the video. But I feel like I should also leave you with something to help you in your journey. Because again, you will be unraveling a lot of things, because a lot of the thoughts, a lot of the emotions, a lot of the energies you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, they're not yours. Just flat out. They're from your dad, from your mom, from your grandparents, from your great-great-grandparents. Like, you are the focal point. Yes, you can still interact with some of those individuals that I mentioned, but some of them aren't here. But energy is only transferred. Nobody truly dies. And with that energy just being transferred, you being the focal point, which is the descendant of all these people literally on like some avatar stuff, you have to unravel, because in this analogy, you are the avatar of your family, just like how I am the avatar of my family. And of my family, there are other avatars because we all are still pulling from similar lineages. Yeah, my cousins have different parents than myself. So of that lineage, they're the avatars. Just like how if you have different parents, you and that person, depending on who's the parent, that's the lineages that you have that you will be tied to. So going through those emotions and going through those energies, like the deeper you dive in yourself, you will see and realize that there are so many things that you are experiencing, so many things that, like, so many thoughts that just randomly come to you. Because on a side note, no such thing as random. I'll make a video about that another time. But there are so many things that are just happening within you due to things that happened before you came here. But as a conscious being, we have to take that step to understanding why we do what we do. Why do we like what we like? Why do we don't like what we like? Like why do we do anything? A lot of it is due to what's been passed down to us from previous lineages. And also the patterns that we experience on a day-to-day basis are also due to what's been passed down through us, through our lineages. It's a generational thing. This is like, I realize that this is prime reason why breaking generational curses, or that saying to break generational curses, has become a thing, because our predecessors did not do the work. It's not just physical work of making money. Making money is part of it, but it's also moving those metaphysical mountains. It has to be done. So I'm going to leave you guys with this meditation. It's a witnessing meditation. Like, we're not going to do it in the video. Because like I did a video on this before, where essentially what you're going to do, you're going to find a comfortable spot, you're going to sit down, you're going to make sure your feet are flat on the ground. You can do this outside in a chair or inside in a chair, or you can sit in the lotus position outside or inside. Either way, you want to make sure your back is up and straight. So I'm kind of like hunched over so I can be as close to the camera, but you want to make sure your back is straight, good posture, shoulders relaxed. As far as hand position goes, you can either have them up like this, or I prefer this one as well, because right now we're dealing with emotions. And with this hand sign, this mudra, you're going to have it sit just right on your lap. Pretty much it's going to be right at the sacral chakra, because that's the centermost part of our body. And that's also where the cauldron is. And with this part being what it is, that's where a lot of energy is cycled through. So for this meditation, you're going to use either this mudra to receive, or this mudra for the sacral chakra. And you're just going to witness. You're going to do the witness meditation with one of those mudras. And essentially what you're going to do is just close your eyes and just witness. And to elaborate on what that means, you're just going to witness the sensations in your body as you're breathing. Witness the sounds around you. Witness your thoughts. Don't try to label anything or talk about anything, because why do I even say that? Because you want to try to talk about something. But with meditating in general, it's not about controlling your thoughts. It's about allowing things. Because once you label something, let's say you have a thought about, I don't know, you eating a cookie and you realize it's not a chocolate chip cookie, and you want a chocolate chip, but you learn it is raisin. And normally what you would do is get really upset about it, but it's not happening right now. You're not actually eating a oatmeal cookie that you want it to be, well, oatmeal raisin cookie that you want to be a chocolate chip. I mean, it's probably not the best analogy right now, but it's the first thing that came to mind. But keep in mind that a lot of the thoughts that come to mind are not happening. So even if the thought that comes to mind is something that is horrific, you're just going to witness it. If you feel some emotions arising, that's okay. You want to question it. You want to ask yourself, why are you feeling this way? Like, there's no immediate danger right now. Because this is like, I'm only talking about this because when it comes to the witnessing meditation, there's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen as you're just witnessing. It could be your thoughts going all over the place. It could be some stuff going on outside and you're just hearing it, but you're witnessing. You're being present. And then also whatever sensations in your body, like how your feet how your feet feel on the floor at home, or how your feet feel in the grass, how your knees feel as you're sitting in the lotus position, how your back feels as you're trying to keep a good posture. Like there are so many sensations you're going to be feeling, and this is good. This is the beginning, because as you get more and more comfortable with just witnessing, you'll be able to discern things a lot better and be like, oh, this isn't my thought. Oh, where is this coming from? Other questions you want to ask yourself, like, where's this thought coming from? And something you can also say to yourself, whether you say it verbally to yourself or mentally. Something I learned from Quasi, which if I can find his video that he talked about this, because this was years ago, I'll put that in the description. But this saying that I say to myself is, to whom does this thought arise? Because when you question the thought, you are removing yourself from it. Because a thought will come up and you're like, oh, like, where is this thought coming from? Or to whom does this thought arise? Like, what is this? You're critiquing the thought. You're not critiquing it like, is it good or is it bad? You're just like, what is it? And you're just going to witness it for what it is. As soon as you label it as good or bad, that's the same as grabbing it off the shelf. As soon as you label it, as soon as you label a thought or a feeling as good or bad, you are taking it off the shelf. Now, with that though, just because it's frustration doesn't mean it's bad. Just because it's anger or fear, just because it's any of the emotions you can think of, that doesn't mean it's good or bad. But as soon as you label that anger as bad, now it's bad. You could be angry for the right reasons, or you could be angry for the wrong reasons. As soon as you label something as good or bad, that's when you take it off the shelf. But if you're just observing, it's like, oh, this is some fear. Where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this fear? What's going on here? And that's the kind of game you have to play it. You have to question it. You're pretty much playing a question game with yourself as you're witnessing what's going on. But also, take the time to just try to not acknowledge anything. I know it's called the witnessing meditation, but I've realized that you need to do both. You need to witness what's going on and just allow your thoughts to do whatever. But with allowing your thoughts to do whatever, you also have to question what's going on. Question why you do what you do. Just questioning yourself, I've learned, is such a great thing. And I'm kind of glancing over at the timer. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not done just yet, but I'm reaching that point. It's been like 43 minutes. There's going to be a little bit of editing in this video. And honestly, with that, this has been a video on patterns and family bonds. Because all the patterns you are experiencing are due to some kind of family bond. And the deeper you go into understanding the family bonds, whether it be with your parents or your cousins or your siblings, the better you can understand yourself and the better beacon you can be for others. This has been Master Jamal. I wish you peace, love, and prosperity, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, also, if you're interested in mentoring or personal training, I do have my links down below for personal training. I do have a current sale going on where you're paying a fraction of the price, whether it's in 2, 3, or 1 payment. And for the personal training, all that stuff is down there as well. Yeah, I think that's everything for the most part. Because now I just got to get back in the habit of making videos. So pretty much, I'm going to do just 1 video a day, you know, that kind of thing. Or I'll record 1 video a day, but more than likely the video isn't going to be posted back to back. Because even with this video, I'm going to break it down into snippets and post it everywhere else. So that way, man. Because even while doing this video, I'm still feeling those emotions. Allow myself to process them. I'm not labeling them as good or bad because I've learned to not do that. Just like I've been telling you guys, just allow myself to experience them. And I feel like, for me personally, I like to just be by myself when I do it. Allow myself some space, some room, you know. And that's really important to do for yourself. You have to allow yourself some alone time. Let me stop right here because it's peace, love, and prosperity to you guys. And I'll see you in the next video.